big changes are coming to the process to get Mexican residency in 2026. And tonight we're going to talk about what you need to either know or do. And truth be told, it's not just Mexico that we're talking about. I'm talking about countries that are going to have some get back, like we like to say. There's going to be some get back. And I kind of called it. I called it back on November 27th, and we're going to play a quick clip from that. And just listen, we have to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. So if you are planning or have been planning to apply for Mexican residency, or if you are one of my clients that, come in here and we done had some conversations about the process for Mexican residency and you've been putting it off, now is not the time to put it off. There are absolutely going to be some changes, especially with the out of pocket cost. But there's also going to be changes as it relates to how you qualify. And we saw that again starting in 2025. They took away the easiest way to qualify. There was a process that you could qualify just by staying in the country longer than you were legally supposed to. Well, they quit that. They broke up with that process back in, I think it was April or May, somewhere around there. And the writing was on the wall. And so I have been kind of going extra hard to get people who are serious about having a plan B to go ahead and do it now. There's no reason to wait. I promise you, it's only going to get more difficult. A week and a half ago, we had a move and medical abroad workshop. We expedited doing that workshop because of the changes that are happening, not only in Mexico, but various countries. So we had Jackie's Journey, who talked about her process and gave great tips about how to take the stress, pressure out of getting residency, what to do, lessons that she learned, hiccups that she had along the way, but also the changes that she saw. I talked about what I was seeing. LJ talked about her process that she's going through now in getting residency in Ecuador for not only her, but her son and her mom. And so, again, there was a concerted effort to bring this information to you rapido, because of the changes that are going to happen. Now, again, I specialize in Mexican residency, right? In getting Mexican residency, obtaining your green card in Mexico. And so that's what I'm here to talk about tonight, because I don't think a lot of people, what's today? Monday. And people are still thinking that all things are going to be equal in 2026. So even if you are in here and you're one of my clients and you got your residency, you got the first part done, this is for you too, because when you go to renew, the probability is quite high that what you thought you were going to renew at, the cost that you thought you were going to pay, is going to be exponentially higher. And so luckily you have completed part one of the process, so you don't have to worry about qualifying anymore. But now the out-of-pocket payment is going to be higher. So my recommendation is, and we'll get to it in a second, that if you plan on getting residency anywhere, even if it's not Mexico or Ecuador or Panama, start the process now. Start it today. Increase your odds of not having to pay an arm and a leg, double the price, which we'll talk about in a second regarding Mexico, if you don't have to. So I'm going to say hi to everyone in a second. I know there was a delay with the audio, but I did want to first introduce myself just in case you're new here. Hey, everyone, what's up? I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And on this channel, we talk all things wellness, travel, and money from a cultural perspective, from a Black woman's point of view. The goal is to empower, to inspire, to educate, and to get us in the mindset that what they can do, there's a lot of things that they can do that we just don't know about, but we can do it too. And so you can find us here on YouTube for the next few days, going live every day, because on Monday we will be celebrating our 1 year anniversary of the Gym Nation. If you have been with the Gym Nation for more than 6 months, put one gym in the chat. Put one gym in the chat. But if you've been rocking since 2024, I need to see as many gyms as you can find or muster in the chat, because we have been on this Stay Ready So We Don't Have to Get Ready movement since November 10th of 2024. And so in honor of that, this week, we're going to do some recapping, some updating, some reviewing to make sure that we are staying on course, to make sure that nothing is going to come as a surprise anymore, right? Whatever they gonna throw at us, we gonna be ready for. And so I will make sure I try to remember to add the playlist. So if you're new, you can catch up on all of the information, the Stay Ready resources that we have gone over this far. But we'll do a little recap this year. And I mean, this week. And one of the areas that we're going to recap is making sure that you have a plan B, making sure that you have an option. Freedom equals options. You are not free if you don't have options. And having options meaning not necessarily always moving out the country, but having, if you need to leave your house today, right now, for whatever reason, do you have another option? Or are you going to be sleeping on a park bench someplace? Right? Have you had these conversations with your family members? And so I don't want to get on a soapbox because we are a little delayed. Um, but let me say hi to some of y'all, and then we'll get into the actual conversation. Um, Ebad was number one in the building, girl. I am so sorry for the delays. You were here since 9:02. I'm so sorry. Hey, Libra King, good to see you. Thank you guys for letting me know. Tay, Libra King, Anita. Hey, Gringo in Guatemala, good to see you. Thank you guys just for letting me know. Hey, I said hi to Anita. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Janet. I wish I would have been looking. I very rarely see the chat because I had my documents ready to go and I was about to pull it up and all the things. And oh, goodness. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being patient. And let's just get into it. The first thing that I want to share. Hey, Zawadi, good to see you. It's perfect. Good, good, good. Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. You said one gym. Girl, you've been here for since 2024. You need to have about 500 gyms in the chat, Cynthia. Hey, LJ. LJ was our featured speaker about the residency process in Ecuador. She just moved into her home. Yes, what was it? Moving day was the other day. So, oh my gosh, those replays are available. I'm going to talk about the school community as well for a second. I didn't pull up the link, but I'm going to do it. Let me see. Can I pull up the link right now? I'm going to put the link to school right now because that's where you can become a member and have access to access. Oh my goodness. Now it's saying I can't pull it up. But you'll have access to the replays for the workshops at different levels. But that's where you'll go to find. Yes, Janet is a diamond child. She's part of multiple communities. Hey, Dante. Yes, Dante. And you are an OG. You're an OG Gym Nation member. I am so glad to see you back in the building. Yes, we got the diamonds up or the gems up, I'll say. Yes, LJ is doing the thing. She's about that action. And so the first thing I want to do is actually share, I just like to give receipts, right? I just like to give receipts so the newbies know I'm not just coming on here today regurgitating what other people are saying. So I just want you to take a listen, just to a little clip, a little snippet of what I shared. I think it was November 27th of 2024. I'll tell you the name of the video. It's called Going to Mexico, Not So Fast. What's really going on at the border. And it was streamed 11 months ago, receipts. Now let's just listen to a little clip as to what I was talking about. And then we'll get into tonight's presentation. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all the things, right?
Yeah, so when I talk about is Mexico closing,
That's too, y'all know I listen to very high speed, right? When I'm replaying, so sorry about that. Okay.
residency resource guide phase 1. Okay. So I just saved that. Perfect. So when I talk about is Mexico closing its borders to Americans, I'm not playing. Like this is not a what you clickbait. This is absolutely serious. Now, do I think they're going to close their borders? Absolutely not, because financially we mean too much to them.
So I will once again say, is Mexico closing their borders to Americans or Canadians? But specifically, let's talk about Americans. In some ways they are. And you'll see how and learn a little bit of why in a second.
We bring too much money into that country, and they know our dollar is strong. And so they're not going to say no to that. But what they are going to do, they're going to take the creme de la creme, who the more financially rich, the ones at the higher household income, and prioritize them. And anyone who's just at the cusp, I want to say from when I got my residency, we're going to go over the numbers in a second. I keep getting ahead of myself. So let's go back to the slides.
So basically, the slides also show how they started streamlining the flexible, right? The flexible visa, because they didn't really have a visa process. It was called the FNM. Anyway, and they were very flexible. 99.9% of Americans got a 180-day stamp, whether you were staying for 2 days or 180 days. And that started changing this year as well. You could see from the screen, someone went expecting to get a much longer stamp. They got a stamp for 40 days, but they needed to stay 2 more weeks. So that's a whole process. You can't just stay in another country illegally. Now you can, but guess what? If they decide to pick you up, detain you, and ship you off for you to never visit again, they have the right to do that as well. Mexico wasn't like that in the past. If you overstayed, when you got to the airport, you paid a fee. That's what they were about. They started, having some retaliatory measures this year, and there were people, they would wait for people that they knew, or they would target people that they knew had overstayed and then detain them. And so, again, we saw some changes happening, but we're going to get into how they have, or how things are looking to expand over 2026. So, I mentioned earlier, many of you guys know that I do consultations for people who need accountability, who need some hand, really understand the process, who want to learn from mistakes, who want access to some of the people that I still have access to. And those are available. The link is in the description. So I want you guys to know, if you are in here and you were part of my client list, you're going to get this updated document, because it's going to affect you as well. Meaning, for those who have already gotten their residency, when you go to renew, this is what you need to think about. And although it's only made one level of approval, the anticipation from all experts is that, oh yeah, this is real and things are going to change. And so be on the lookout in your email for this document if we've already met. If you have purchased the Guide to Mexican Residency, this is going to be sent to you as well, because it's updates, and I definitely want you to have the latest information within the same year. Now, next year, when I update to the 2026 Mexican residency guide, that, that will be a standalone, but you will get this if you purchase the guide to Mexican residency. If you are in the school platform for the net and through Monday, you will have access to this document. Not everybody wants this document. Not everybody needs this document. I get it, but I want to make it accessible and available to as many people that are going to need it. And so let's just see what the document says, and hopefully I could read it. So these are some of the major changes for 2026 Mexican residency. And we're talking about how it's going to potentially affect Americans. And even though, like I said, the final signature has not happened, we are moving like this is what it's going to be. So you will see that it says government fees will double. If it doesn't, God bless you. If it goes to 60%, God bless you. But right now, what has been passed, kind of sort of, is that there will be 100% fee increase on all residency permits. This is the most urgent takeaway for anyone considering residency. If you got it and you don't mind spending it, good. But if it's going to impact you or make it so that you can't get residency, come on now, you still got time. And let me do I want to share this first? I do want to share this because I want you to see. This was posted today in one of the groups that I am in. And showing, there are some people who I worked with was like, oh, I can't get an appointment. I can't get an appointment. I can't get an appointment. And then other people that I worked with that literally was able to get an appointment within a couple of days. They're still getting appointments this year. There are people saying, no, everything's booked up for the rest of the year. That's because they're not putting in the extra effort. There's always cancellations. People have booked, then they go to another consulate. They don't cancel. There's ways to get appointments it's ways to get approved your entire residency card still in 2025, if you so choose. So this was posted 6 hours ago. And the person said, I started this process about 2 weeks ago, got my consulate appointment by email, which was today at 2 p.m. By 2:45, I walked out with my visa. Next stop, Mexico. So within 2 weeks, 14 days, they got their appointment. They got all their paperwork together. They went to the appointment. They got approved. And now they're going to Mexico. And guess what? They're not going to pay the 2026 fees. They're going to still be eligible to pay the 2025 fees. And so I wanted y'all to see that because, listen, at the end of the day, the day's got to end though. At the end of the day, I want y'all to, know that this is possible and doable. And again, insert any country that you are thinking about for Mexico, if that's your desire, but just don't throw in the towel and think that it can't be done. And I see your question, Tay. Let me just get through some of the slides and then I'll answer your question because it actually may be in these slides. So, and I put these slides together, I put the information together. I did have, help with Gamma designing it, but all of this information is available in the school community, and it's also available via email to my clients. So the fees will double. Financial requirements may actually become easier. They may become easier. And we'll get more into that in a second. Permanent resident being retired. Permanent residency now requires being retired or pension. What does that mean? We'll get into that in a second as well. These are the key takeaways. We're going to dig a little deeper as well. And what's actually qualifying as far as documents now or moving into 2026 is also going to change at many of the consulates. So I want y'all just to be aware because I'm still preaching having an option. But like I said back in November, I knew this was coming down the pike. There's no way you're going to be Billy Bad ASS to other countries, and they're not going to, and they're just going to sit there and not do anything about it. So what has changed? Currently in 2025, Mexican consulates calculate financial requirements based on Mexico's minimum wage. That's how they calculate what you as an American will need to show you have in your account or through generating income or through a pension in order to get approved for residency in Mexico. The proposal is that they're going to switch to the UMA, Unidad de Medida y Actualización, as the base calculation. And we're going to get more into that as well. But understanding that the UMA has increased by 25% over the past 5 years, and the minimum wage has jumped 110%. The change was announced in 2025, and the expected implementation was between August 9th of this year and early 2026. Right now, they're saying, usually January is when they start to implement things. It is a disclaimer that not all consulates may adopt this immediately because they each have a level of discretion and independence. So what does that look like? For temporary residents, and this is an average because each consulate is different, and some consulates have a higher requirement and others have a lower one, which is why people tend to consulate hop so they can meet the requirements based on what they have. So right now, currently, monthly income between $4,000 and about $4,400 net is what you would need to show, or a savings investment, savings and investments of between $68,000 and $75,000 over a 12-month period. That's on average. Proposed with the 2026 changes using the UMA, if that's adopted, the monthly income would go down. The savings would go down. But there's something that's not going down, and we're going to get into that in a second. It's actually going to double. If the UMA is not adopted, then the monthly income is going up from $4,000 to $4,400 to $4,800 to $5,000 plus approximately. And the savings is going to go up to over $85,000. When it comes to permanent residency, which is going to have a higher barrier of entry. So some people were able to get permanent residency just by showing income, right? You didn't have to be retired, and not just income, savings. So it depends upon the consulate that you were at. Some were a lot more lax. If you can show that you had X amount of dollars, you could get permanent residency immediately, even if you were 40 years old, 43 years old, and still not retired, collecting a pension. But those are going up as well. We don't need to go over the exact numbers. This document, like I said, even if you just get the residency resource guide, the guide to Mexican resource with the clickable links, this will be part of that package. So currently proposed, it will be an additional $1,350 to $1,400 net monthly income per dependent, which is your spouse or your minor. So all of the numbers are looking to potentially increase if the UMA is not approved. So 100% is the number that they are talking about to pay the Mexican government for your card, right? So right now, you're talking about $290 when you go to exchange your visa, your Kanye is what it's called, for your green card, right? Your residency card. Right now, it's about $290 for the first year. Most people only get 1 year and then have to do the 3-year renewal, but you can do year by year, however, but you only get 1 year. That is currently $290. There is a proposed increase of $290, bringing the 1-year cost to $580. Then if you go back and renew just for one additional year, you're looking at paying $870, which is $435 more than it is now, doubling. If you go back and try to do the, after the 1 year and do 3 years, you're going to pay about $1,300, which is $650 more than it is right now. So that's why I'm saying, if you qualify, if you can meet the requirements, you still have time. Listen, the holidays are coming. There's other things changing. You'll see why you may want to do it now. But if you could still make it happen, right? In 2026. And it's the same with the permanent residency. Currently, it's $355. Expectation, even from a lot of the facilitators that I'm in contact with, it's looking to go up to anywhere from $705 to $738. Now, the thing about it is there are a lot of retirees that require or that fall into this category. And listen, if you're paying $38 times 2, that's a good chunk of maybe your monthly income. And so if you're able to get your people, even if it's reunification, if you are already a resident and you need to do reunification, look into doing it over the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks. There's also going to be increase in other fees, but we're talking about residency. So what does this mean from a strategic standpoint? Like I said, we're all about strategy. We're all about staying ready. We're all about being about that action. We are not going to just let things happen to us. So if you can, apply before 2026. If you can, if you could get your paperwork together, because you will lock in the current fees. You will avoid uncertainty about which calculation method the consulate is going to use in 2026. You can secure residency before physical residency enforcement potentially begins. That's a whole nother topic, right? Child. So get your residency before they make new residents do things that the old residents didn't have to do. And if you're looking for a 4-year temporary residency permit, you'll be paying double. There's justifications from, of course, their government. The Treasury Minister claims these increases are necessary to support intensive use of infrastructure and specialized human resources by the National Migration Institute, INM, and specifically cited concerns about digital nomads affecting local housing, commerce, and community spaces. They got to make that money away. And I clearly mentioned that a few times over the past year, it would be wise for them to increase the barrier for entry financially so that they can reduce the total number, the net number of people that they have to accept, because it is a burden, right? When you have people flocking, and when I tell you flocking, they are flocking the other way. It's not just us, y'all. It's a lot. And we're talking other countries too. So they have to be wise and strategic. But let's talk about eligibility requirements for permanent residency. Like I mentioned, before you could get the permanent residency approval, there were some consulates that were easier to get it if you were willing to travel and get it and you were still young, but you had the financial qualifiers, you could get it. We are seeing that go away. 2025, you can also use your 401ks. You can also use your IRAs, your any investments. Proposed for 2026, they are refusing. And I've seen people comment that they did not accept their 401ks. They want to see cash in your account. They want to see that you're collecting. If you have not already started collecting from your retirement account, they are voiding it. Now, Again, it's only been a few instances in the US for 2025, but that number is expected to grow, right? And I think they're also seeing the the uncertainty in the market. So this represents a significant tightening of what qualifies as accepted financial documents. Exceptions to fees increases. So 50% discount available for applicants who can prove their stay is for family unity, national job offer, unpaid invitation from public or private sector. The process, this is another one. The residency card processing changes. Many I&M offices provide residence cards the same day after your biometrics, your fingerprinting and whatnot. Proposed for 2026. Oh, no more same day. No more same today. It could take weeks to months. And that's how, and you can't leave. You can't leave. Well, you can, but you have to get special permission. You have to pay for that. You have to come back within a certain amount of time. But now you get your residency card today, and I have some other screenshots that I could show you, but you get your residency card today. You get approved here in the US. You could be on a plane to Mexico this afternoon. You could be at the I&M office getting your residency card tomorrow or the next day, and you could be back at home within 2 to 3 days if all things worked out. And I know many people have done that. Well, moving forward in 2026, if this new proposal goes through, you will have to sit until your card is ready. And so these are the things that you need to know. This is another way that because think about it, that is a lot. They're doing a lot in delivering same day. Heck, a lot of consulates in the US don't even give you visa approvals the same day. And so they're definitely going, the expectation is that they're going to crack down in 2026. Physical residency requirements are under discussion. So new strict requirements to physically live in Mexico to maintain residency. I knew this was coming. Proposed is potential new rule requiring individuals to actually reside in Mexico to maintain residency status. They may scrutinize your address. They started doing that in some places in Mexico already. Right now, there's many cities you could get approval just with an Airbnb address or hotel address. But they're starting to scrutinize that. Immigration may even examine travel patterns, family ties, bank accounts, utilities to see that. Now that is still, it's going to take a lot of manpower to do that. It's going to take a lot of manpower to do that, but they need to crack down on people just basically what I would say is abusing the system. And those who do not meet the criteria could face card revocation without prior notice. So timeline, we don't need to go through the timeline, but it hasn't been formally signed. Only it has to go through another layer before it's approved, and we'll see what exactly is approved. But if you're eligible now, consider applying now. Look, I wanted to, so if you can do it now, secure residency before this physical whatever happens. The good thing about it is, like I said, that part I think is the hardest part for them to implement. And contact your Mexican consulate before applying to confirm which calculation that they're going to be using in 2026. Stay close. Again, like I said, you will have access to this document. If you check, hold on a second. If you check the description, I just want to make sure you will see all of the resources related to, I'm just double checking to make sure I did put it in the chat. Yes. So yeah, if you are interested, I'm going to put 2 links actually. If you are interested in the one-on-one session to have somebody to hold you accountable, to give you access to facilitators that I trust, that I know my people have used and have been taken care of, people who did not have addresses or needed a bill to prove something. We have some good people on deck. Also, if you are interested, I just put one in. There's another link I'm gonna like the whole breakup and payment option thing. So I'll put another link for that one. And then I'm also going to put a link for if you just want the Mexican residency guide with clickable links where you can, you know, actually show you what that is. Oh my gosh, can I show you what that is? I don't want to take up too much time. If you have a question, do me a favor, put it in the chat with the Q in front of it. Can I show you what that is? I can, but it's going to take me a minute to pull it up. Oh, no, wait. I could probably show it here. Let's see. Yes, I can show you right here. Okay. Let me show you, share screen. This is what, well, this is if you were to get the strategy call, but let me tell you what you get for the strategy call. You'll get a 45-minute call to strategize your steps to residency. They've all gone way over 45 minutes, and I don't, you know, I'm not a stickler like that. It's really just to keep you on track. And then after that, once you get your follow-up from me, your roadmap, your blueprint from me, you will be able to get your documents together, get your appointment, and then we go over all the documents in the follow-up call, making sure that you are walking in there, answering those questions right on the application, what you're going to say in person. You're going to take the guesswork out of all of this. And again, the only people that are making me look bad are the people that are not following through. I had a perfect record of residency approvals, but now it just looks like some people, oh, did I not share that? I didn't share that. Sorry. But yeah, so again, I'm going to get to the questions. Is financial solvency the only way to get approved for residency? No, you could marry somebody. Someone else can get approved that's in your immediate family, and you can be, it's called the family unity, family reunification, and you can be reunited that way. But those are primarily it. They want to know that you can afford to sustain yourself while you are in the country, and you have to be able to show that. So pretty much those are, I'm just trying to think, are there any ways that, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're not married to somebody, if you are not there because a company has legally brought you there, you know, to work, then you have to show that you have enough to sustain yourself while you're there. And I did want to show, let me show this. Hold on one second. This is the Mexican residency guide with clickable links. Well, this is the page to get it. And it's just going to, I'm showing you what you get. So number one, if you get this, you get 58% off the From Here to There resource guide, which includes 8 other countries that are, well, Mexico is one of them, with clickable links on the process and how to, you know, start the process in these other countries. But in the Mexican residency resource guide, you get a list of Mexican consulates in the US with clickable links for direct access. it could be very time consuming, you looking up the requirements for different consulates. This just takes a lot of, you're saving time. You're paying $19.97 to save you some time. It could take hours, and then it takes you directly to the consulates where you can see what the requirements are for each of the 53 consulates in the US. It also explains what the role of a consulate is. They're not just there to issue residency requests for Americans. No. You have a map at a glance, so it makes it easier. So you can see if I'm in this state, which are the closest ones to me. So you could start off that way. How to book your appointments at a Mexican consulate. What is financial solvency? The definition of that. Recent articles about Mexico and the US, and also the history. And additional links that if I was starting the process, and other resources. So that is the Mexican Residency Resource Guide. Did I put that in? I don't even know if I put that in. Did I put that in the chat? If I didn't, I'm gonna do it right now. So what I wanted to do, like I said, this week is literally revisit the things we've been talking about this past year. So yesterday, if you missed it, check it out. We talked about the 5 resources that many of us as Black people don't utilize, but we should. And it started with everything from knowing what banned products are in other countries that we are consuming here in this country, knowing and seeing in real time that list. Also, what are the FDA recalls that are happening? Many of us don't even know that there are more recalls, I think, now than I've ever heard. I talked about my gripe with Trader Joe's, but we should be tapping into that information. Resources for that. We talked about missing money. It's more than just one website to check for missing money, and you need to do it more than once a year. You need to do it often because the money can appear often, right? And you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your loved one, your family members. We talked about mental health, making sure you have these resources. I actually put in the description yesterday the text number, the phone number, and the website if you are feeling some type of mental crisis and don't know what to do. And we did something else that I can't think about right now. But let me see. Is there another? There was another. I wanted to see if I could share this. What does this say? Oh, yeah. So I wanted to share this because I've had a couple people talk about the Atlanta consulate and not being able to get appointments. And this was posted today too. And this person shared their experience. Now, her biggest gripe was the parking situation. And she was able to she left with plenty of time and then ended up almost being late because of the parking situation. But she said she was almost in tears, ready to give up. She found somebody pulling out. She was able to get the spot. Then once inside, she waited for 5 minutes, was called into an office where the agent looked through her documents. Another 5 minutes, she went downstairs, paid the $54 in cash, and returned to the agent with her receipt. She told her to come back at 3 p.m. Now, this was from 10 a.m. 3 p.m. She had to come back. She got her residency card. So I'm doing this just for the people who I consulted with that claim there's no appointments in Atlanta. There are appointments. And someone asked, I think, when did she book it? And I think it was like 2 weeks ago. It was in October, let's just say. So again, I just wanted to provide hope. I want y'all to know that the big changes that I tried to put out there that were coming, they're coming. And guess what? They're going to keep coming. And so the longer you wait, the longer or harder or more barriers let's call them hurdles, the more hurdles you're going to have to jump through. And we don't necessarily like hurdles, especially at our big age, right? We don't like hurdles. And so again, I'm going to add one last link because um, I think this is where we at right now, needing community. Everyone in the Gym Nation, that means if you're here now, if you are part of this family in any way, you are invited to join our next level up, meaning the level where we stay in communication, the level where we have access to each other around the clock, the level where if you see something, you say something immediately and can probably change and impact lives, right? That's going to be in the school. We call it in school. It's SKOOL. So we have our own community in school that is going to be an extension of this community and have different tiers. Right now at the base plan, it's heavily discounted. $19 if you just want to do a month, right? But if you want to do a year, it's $8 per month. It comes up less than, well, just over $8 because it's $100 for the whole year. And like I said, the vault, let me see if I could show you just what's in the vault right now. But let me just tell you what's in the vault. Right now in the free vault, meaning anyone who signs up has access to this, you're going to have access to preparedness world playbooks, resources to help you, in different areas of your life, cultural strategy guides, community-driven resources. Right now, you have the banned products by country with links, the Stay Ready resource guide with books that we all should be reading. We started off this week talking about the art of war. We're going to have a book within that community. We're going to have 2 weeks where we just simply discuss the strategies of the art of war. The remote job resource guide is there with clickable links that you can buy as well on the Beacons page. So for anyone who signs up for the $19 by Monday, and you quit 1 month later, you done got over on me, right? You got over because you're getting all of these resources for next to nothing. But starting on Tuesday, that price is going up. And it's because this is going to be a protected community, and only the people in that community, like there will be no, I'm not going to say there won't be anyone who infiltrates, but you're going to have to pay to infiltrate. You're not just going to infiltrate and come and troll and stress people out. And so you will also find the updated Mexican residency document that we just went over. And yeah, and you'll have access to the replays from our workshops and all of the things. So if you're interested in being in community, being in a space where you have access to others around the clock, getting information that can help you, right? Let's just say someone is traveling in an airport that is shut down, right? And you got a flight out the next day. Like, this is the type of community we're going to do real-time conversations, not all the time, not every single minute, but just knowing that there's people within this world, not just this country, that can share insights. And it's not just y'all waiting for someone, not necessarily only me, but someone to go live or someone to do a Zoom, and yeah. So, and if you do the second tier, you get automatic inclusion in our Flawless meetup, which is every Thursday. Right now it's every Thursday, 9 p.m., 1 week a month. We do a game night with cash prizes, all types of prizes. We have a good old time. And so, yeah, so join the school community where you'll get all this stuff I'm talking about. You'll have access. There's still hope. In the DMV, and heard the same thing about not getting appointments in the consulate. And guess what? Oh my gosh, can I pull up? I can't pull it up because I don't have Facebook on this. But there's someone who just posted. You know what? I might post it in the community tab. Just so you know what, check back later tonight. I'm going to post that post in the community tab. Someone just got an appointment, I want to say in October 2, and got approved today or last week, or I can't remember the date, but let me see. It might be, Yeah, so there's still hope. You just can't what a lot of people are doing, they're trying one time. They're sending one email, "I'm looking for an appointment. Please send me your availability." And if they don't hear back, they're not following up. And we all know we're not people are not the best in follow-up. A lot of money gets lost, a lot of deals get lost because there is lack of follow-up. And so we just have to do better. We just have to do better with that. We have to be more vigilant when it comes to getting what we want, right? And stop letting these little hurdles stop us, right? But I think I had a screenshot of that too, and it was all pulled up. And now that, now that I got all turned around with the audio, um, I don't want to waste any more time. But again, tomorrow I'm coming back live. I think I said 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. And again, we're going to talk about some other areas that we're going to focus on. I don't want to put the exact title out because I have two things that I want to tap into. And based on the news that's newsing, I just want to leave myself a little flexible. So 11 a.m., we're going to go live. And then Friday and Saturday, I might not be traveling this Saturday now that they're slicing flights 10 to 40%, right? They're supposed to be cutting the flight schedule, and I can't get stuck, and I don't want to get stuck at the airport. So I think I may be canceling my plans for this weekend, but I'll be here with you guys. So hopefully this was helpful to someone who's watching this. Again, if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead. If you haven't subscribed to go ahead and subscribe. That's how you become part of the Gym Nation family. If you need more help with any of the resources from the workshop that we just did, if you missed it, I will have that link. I don't even think I put that link in. I'll put that link in the description as well. You can catch that replay. You can also have access to if you get the replay, the people, if you need more hand holding, the women are available to help you through, just like I am. So I look forward to seeing more of us, have a plan B before they make it impossible for the majority of us to have a plan B. This writing was on the wall for a very long time. And, I don't come on this channel for fun, for kicks, and it's definitely not for the money, honey. I come because there are certain things that I know or I feel or someone has shared, and I want to make sure we all stay ready. So with that being said, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else about Mexican residency other than the fact that, there is I did say it passed one level, right? It passed one layer. I don't think I went deep into that, but it has already passed. Hold on. It has passed the lower house of Congress, and it awaits Senate approval in Mexico. Okay, so starting over the next couple of months, those votes will happen, and by January, the latest, we'll know, because the increase, the budget proposal was submitted on September 8th, and it passed the lower house. And so, so let's get ready, y'all. But even if you can't do it now, don't be dismayed. Let's just start planning and figuring out how you'll be able to afford to do it in the future. Do you know, if some of y'all would have listened to me and Andrea way back in June, you could be at the requirement or close to the financial requirement by now. If you weren't before, if you were short, a few G's, you could be there now. If you take seriously finding ways to diversify income streams, especially now, especially going into the holiday season, which is where people spend the most money, even though there's layoffs and cutbacks and all of that. Now is the time for you to level up your finances so that you can, not be as affected by the changes. So anyway, I can go on and on and on. I thank you for your time. Let me just make sure. Yep. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe, yeah, that's the time. It's, I don't want to lie to y'all, but it's in my classroom. It's in my classroom on school, so I could check it out, y'all. I could check it out on the calendar. Yep, 11 a.m. on the 7th. I will see y'all tomorrow at 11. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And share this information with a friend, family member, coworker, whatever. Anyway, I thank you. Talk to you later. Oh, and then tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, Flawless Meetup. See you then. Take care. Bye.